All right, here are the best players from the Summer League just based on vibes. I have no data to support this, but I'm just going to be ranking them based on how well I think they did and how well I remember them doing. First off, we have Sandstorm. Sandstorm is definitely consistently good. He's never sometimes beating somebody who's in the best tier, but you never see him barely make top 8. You know when he's in the tournament, he's always going to be going at least somewhat far. Next, we have Stango. This picture was meant for kind of like because it sounded like Stinger, because Stang and Sting are one letter off away from each other. So yeah, best Stango is the best, is one of the best in this game. It's really quite impressive how well he's been doing lately. Next, we have Cake Assault, who, in my opinion, is doing better than Stango. Just because although Stango beats him pretty consistently nowadays at the beginning of the season, this was not the case. It wasn't even close. Cake Assault beat everybody else pretty handily in the beginning of the season. Again, now it's a little harder for him, but I would definitely say he's the second best player of the season. Who's the best? Plup. It's not even close. If you watch the game at all, you know that Plup is just the man to beat. Like, I think Cake took one game off of him at Genesis. Like, it really looked like a cakewalk. Oh. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, anyways. Next we have Marlon. If I could put a tier for Quit the Game Lamau, that would be it, but I don't have that. So I'm just gonna put Trying to Move Up a tier, because I feel like he really, at the beginning of the season, he really had the potential to beat Cake Assault, and especially Stango when he wasn't as good. But he just, over the season, he just kept on getting worse and worse, and I just don't think he likes the community and atmosphere as much as he did. Next, we have Ant. Ant is so hit or miss when he enters tournaments. It's wild. Like, sometimes he'll get fourth, sometimes he'll miss top 8. I'm gonna say, is he better than Sandstorm? No, I would say Sandstorm's better. Oh, why'd I do that? So I would put him in the consistently good. I'd put him in the inconsistently good. Because this guy, he is a threat. When he's in bracket, you know he's a threat. It's very likely he'll get top 8. Next, we have Musique. Musique is barely elite, I think. I think I've seen him in one top 8, and that's it. But don't get me wrong, phenomenal player. Plays this Claren very strangely. I really like watching him play. It's a lot of waiting. It's kind of like Spargo. Oh, I forgot about Spargo. Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't forget about Spargo. Anyways, he plays a lot like Spargo, like how he waits a lot and he's very slow and methodical. Next, we have B-Bats. B-Bats won a major. I think he's better than Marlon, to be honest. Because B-Bats is knocking on the door of Cake Assault and Stango. Like, he's always just right behind them, Same with Sofilo, our next contestant. And Sofilo is definitely, I'd say pretty unanimously a top 4 player, Like, if it's not Plup, and if it's not Cake or Stango, it's probably Sofilo. Next, we have Dakpo. I chose a skater icon because he plays Raster and he loves that skater skin. I think Dakpo is sometimes top 8. Like, if you see him in a tournament, you're like, okay, there's probably about a 30% chance he'll make top 8. Because I think I've seen him do it more than once, but I'm not positive. All right, next up we have ZB. ZB is consistently good. And, this is close. I think Sandstorm is better than him. And I think that ZB, based off of vibes, is ZB better than Ant? They are both very similar, I would say. But I think I'm going to keep Ant above ZB just because I feel like Ant has more potential to go further in any given bracket. Whereas ZB plays more consistently. Ant is like a fireworks show with a crazy light up wire. Like you don't know. Maybe the wire will go. He's like a fireworks show on a rainy day. Maybe the fuse will go out before it hits the fireworks, but when it hits the fireworks, like be ready for a show. Granted, watching ZB is like watching fireworks. It's just brilliant. And it's hard because the summer season spanned from, in my opinion, a very long time. Because in the beginning, ZB was much better than Ant, and now I feel like Ant is much better than ZB. But I feel like Ant's dominance now is more than ZB's dominance was, so I'm going to put Ant as higher. Now we have Spargo. Spargo is on the doorstep. He's knocking. I think he's better than B-Bats too. Because when Spargo tries, he's knocking on the door of Cake Assault and Stango. Not to say that I wouldn't still put my money on Cake Assault or Stango, but the odds are a lot closer than if they were playing against Marlin or B-Bats. Maybe not Sofilo, but Marlin and B-Bats for sure. Next we have Ion, the most polarizing player in the game. Oh my gosh, this is too good. Okay. Ion. He won versus Cake Assault and it was amazing. I think that was Riptide. But like that's the only time I've heard of him. So where do I put somebody who's won an entire major yet I barely hear about? I'm just gonna put him as sometimes top 8. He's definitely better than Dakpo because Dakpo hasn't climbed nearly as high as Ion. But I don't expect Ion to hit top 8 consistently. That's why the tier is called sometimes top 8. So I think he goes in sometimes top 8s. But realistically, that's as high of a tier as I can put him because I just have not seen that consistency from him. Next, we have Elkies. And you're probably wondering, why is there a tree? Well, if you combine the words elm and oak, you get elk. Why didn't I just put an elk? Did I make that so much harder than I needed to? Anyways, Elkies is barely elite. I'm gonna say she's higher than Musique, just because I see Elkies around doing well in tournaments. I don't see Musique around too often, so that's why I put her higher than Musique. Next, we have Zeus de Goose. Sometimes top 8. I would say is he better than Dakpo? I feel like I've seen Dakpo more than Zeus de Goose in tournaments. So I'm going to put Zeus de Goose because he did get top 6, right? Zeus got top 6. I think that was also Riptide. Best tournament of the summer season, by the way. Maybe that's what I should do. I should rank all of the tournaments of summer 2025. Anyways, is Zeus better than Dakpo? I put Ion ahead of Zeus. I think that I feel like just because Dakpo is more consistent in a tournament setting, I put him above Zeus de Goose. But Zeus de Goose is also just a phenomenal player, like top the leaderboards. So I'm surprised I don't see him in top 8 more than what I do. Lastly, I have a Japanese character to symbolize something. I don't remember, I forgot. Oh, I remember Rungunshu, because Rungunshu just seems Japanese to me for some reason. Rungunshu he's good. I would put him at consistently good. Better than Ant because he just has been consistent for so much longer in the season than Ant has. But not quite as good as Sandstorm because I feel like he doesn't threaten other top players as much as Sandstorm does. And I think this is my tier list. I mean, I'm not like the master of tier list making. This is just what I see on the screen. I should also include Hyperflame, shouldn't I? Let me do that. I'm going to say sometimes top 8s, but he's definitely the best out of these guys. just because I've only seen a couple of top 8s from Ion and Dakpo and Zeus, but I feel like I consistently see Hyper Flame be a real threat in tournaments. Again, just based off vibes, no data to support this, but I don't think Hyper Flame is consistently good enough to put him up a tier, but I also think he's at the top tier of sometimes top 8s because of that consistency, if that makes sense. He's in like the middle ground of consistency. And I think that's it. Subscribe so I can hit 1,000 subscribers and turn off ads so that you guys don't have to watch them. Thank you. Let me know what you guys feel like in the comments. Just your vibes. I don't want any data. I'll make another video on that later. Yeah, I'd love to just chat with you. Have a great day. Bye.